Hi, everyone. My name is Akila Yel-Pragada. I'm a second year student at SLJC, and I'm planning to go into the technology field because both my parents are involved in the IT field for a very long time, and I've sort of been inspired by them to sort of like get involved. And I'm more interested in going into the artificial intelligence and machine learning sort of area because I find that really interesting, and I hope to learn more about that field, whoever is specialized in that today. So yeah, it's really nice to meet everyone.
Same here, Akila.
Right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Akila. Okay, then you have to, now you have to, yeah, you have to turn your video and mute yourself. So Aditi, I'm gonna have you go next. So Aditi, turn on your, there she is.
Hi, my name is Aditi Mohan, and I'm also a second year student at Student Leadership Johns Creek. I actually am not, I'm not very well versed in like the technology field, and I haven't really ventured much into it. So I would love to like take this opportunity to learn more about it and hear about like what drew you all into this field in the first place, and just see if it's something that I'm interested in and something that I can develop my interest in. So yeah.
And Aditi goes to Chattahoochee High School. Okay, you can mute yourself and hide your video. So Ashu, I'm going to promote you next. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, there he is.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, my name is Ashu.
Can you do your video? There he is.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Ashu. I'm a senior at Northview High School, and actually technology's been quite a passion for me since a young age. And I've been working towards a career in more like AI, ML, that sort of stuff. So I'd like to get kind of a insight into how the field actually works because, right now I'm going to college. So if I could get an idea of that, that would be really great.
Thank you.
Ashu is one of our ambassadors as well. So is Aditi. I don't know how they ended up boom, boom, boom like that, but that's how they did. Okay. Author, where are you? Unmute you. There we go.
Hi, my name is Arthur Willem Sendel, and I'm a junior at Chattahoochee High School. I've been intrigued in technology since a young age. I've been participating in robotics competitions and coding competitions. So I just wanted to learn a little bit more about the field and like take an inside scoop and learn about an inside scoop from your guys' perspective. So I was hoping to learn more about that today. So.
And did you say you were from Chattahoochee?
Yes, Chattahoochee.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. So you can go ahead and hide your video and mute. Yeah. So Emily, I'm going to promote you next. So Emily Corey from Johns Creek High School.
My name is Emily Corey. I'm a junior at Johns Creek High School. I'm taking computer science courses at my high school, and I plan on going into the technology field, specifically project management or engineering. And I'd love to see if you like the technology field and like what strengths you think are most important for someone working in tech.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks, Emily. Julia, you're going to be next. Julia, are you there? Where is she? There she is. We can't hear you, Julia. I think you're muted. Can we hear you now? My mic isn't working. Okay, so introduce yourself then with the chat. And what you expect to get, or you have a question. Julia has a really cool 3D printer at her house that she prints all kinds of cool stuff with. She's a junior at Chattahoochee.
Yeah, I think, Irene, while we are waiting for her to type, maybe you can move the next person.
She's very interested in learning more about the different technology fields that are available. So, okay, thank you, Julia. You can go ahead and hide your video now. Lydia Grace, you're next.
Hi, my name is Lydia Grace Logan. I'm a junior at Johns Creek High School, and I take a lot of computer science classes at my high school. So something I'm interested in is learning kind of what the different career options or college majors are for technology, because aside from like teaching positions or just like a desk job, I'm not really sure what other options there are to do when you want to be interested in technology. So that's what I hope to learn more about.
Good job. Thanks, Lydia Grace. Margaret, you're next.
Hi, nice to meet everyone. I'm Margaret Way. I'm a junior at Johns Creek High School. And honestly, I've been I just recently decided like, oh, I might want to pursue a career in technology. So I'm just here to like learn about the field and see what like drew you guys into the field and see if it's right for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Margaret. Noreen, you're next.
Took a second, sorry. Hi, my name is Noreen Ali. I'm a senior at Northview High School, and I'm personally planning on majoring in industrial engineering in college. And I know that the technology field is growing a lot, so I'm interested in learning more about what you all do and what a typical day in like your career looks like.
Thanks, Noreen. Sid, you're next.
Hi, my name's Sid Kawatra. I'm a junior at Johns Creek High School. This is my second year in the SLJC program, and I'm more interested in the AI field as it pertains to technology, and I'm super excited for today.
Thanks, Sid. So there's two other kids that are taking an econ test, and they're gonna jump in 5 minutes when the test is over, because their teacher wouldn't excuse them. So we're ready to go.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna hide my video.
Yeah, let me share my screen. Okay. You guys should be seeing my presentation now.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, great. Great. Welcome, everybody. And my name is Rama Prasad Rampur, and you can call me Rama. I'll be the moderator for today's discussion. I was just listening to what all the student leaders were saying, and it looks like most of you are interested in artificial intelligence and robotics, and I noted project management, industrial engineering, and also college majors that are of interest to you. So those are the things I noted down. So it's really nice to know about your interests. First, the way we are going to do it today is first I'll introduce myself and tell you a little bit about my career. and then we'll give an opportunity for all the panelists to talk about their experiences. So we have a talented panel who are passionate about technology. So they are hands-on. So if you have any questions about what they do and what are their interests, please keep them so that we can have a Q&A session at the end of the discussion. First to go with, I'll start with myself. I completed my undergrad in India, in South India, in electronics and telecommunication engineering. So when I was looking to go to college, I had applied for medical school as well as engineering school. So I got admitted to both, but after talking to my grandfather, my uncle, who were doctors, and also going through their daily work and what they do, somehow I decided that, okay, that is not for me. And I decided to go towards engineering. And I'm happy I made that decision because today I feel that I like what I do. Mostly my passion is more about analyzing a business problem and coming up with a solution and design so that we can come up with a software and hardware solution for those to solve those business problems. So after my undergrad, I worked in Indian space program for 3 years as a research fellow. That was a temporary job immediately after college. It was at in National Aerospace Lab in Bangalore in South India. So while I was working there, I felt that, okay, I need to explore more about computer science. That's when I decided to come to US and pursue my master's in computer science at University of Alabama. So go Roll Tide. So after graduation from University of Alabama, I was a consultant working in different industries, mostly telecommunications and insurance, like MetLife and Verizon, coming up with solutions for the business problems that those companies wanted to solve. So after that, I joined UPS, and in UPS, I have been working as a business analyst and a project manager for some of the projects. If there is one advice I would like to give is I would suggest that as a student leader, think about the ideas that you have and talk about it. So talk to your parents, talk to your friends, and talk to professionals about your ideas. And also, first is talk, and second is observe. That is, observe your progress in what you are thinking about, what your idea is, and how you are going about making that idea become reality. So observe your progress. And then the third step I would say is calibrate. As you're observing, track the progress and see if you need to make any adjustments so that you can achieve the idea or the goal that you have. So that's a brief introduction about myself, and we can come back to anyone who has any questions about or to me towards the end of the session. So first, I would like to go to our panelist, Ivan Ormaza. He loves creating software solutions for customers. And when he wants to take a break and stop talking to people, he wants to talk to the fishes in Atlantic Ocean. That is, he goes to scuba diving. So I present you Ivan to share his experiences.
Okay, thank you, Rama. Thanks for that introduction. Correct, yes, I am a certified scuba diver. So I usually have to travel. Of course, in Atlanta, there's no real place to scuba dive. But anyway, I am application development manager the past 10 plus years. What I've been focusing on is the management of technology, right? So whether that's managing people that develop technology, programmers that actually code, business analysts, database people, database developers or designers, right? Different kinds of areas in the technology area. And I also work with vendors, right? Because in a company like ours, like UPS, everything is not developed in-house, right? So we need to be able to manage vendors that do some of this, that bring some of this technology, good technology, so we can apply it into our workspace, right? So that's what I also do is manage the vendors that work on the technology and deliver it to us, right? So there's many areas in technology, like someone was asking about what are the different fields, and there's many things, right? You can sell technology, you can actually do it and create it, and you know, the sky's the limit, right? So just a little bit about myself. I wanted to just give you an idea of my background. I grew up in Ecuador. That's where I grew up my teenage years. And right about when I was supposed to go into college, I decided to come to the United States to go to college. And so everything was very quick. I did not have that opportunity like what you have in this call and the type of access that you have now. So I didn't put much thought. So really when I came to the United States, I thought I had everything clear, right? I wanted to be a pilot, right? So an airline pilot. That was my desire, right? So I spent 2 semesters trying to do that. Went through ground school. I started flying that Cessna 152, the small 2-seat airplane with a propeller. I mean, it was awesome. Everything. It was exciting. It was, you know, but there was a point when I realized, you know, this is not the way I should go, right? What am I gonna get out of this, and when, right? I had to come back to reality, and so I had a conversation with someone important in my life, right? That told me he was a professional in the area, and he explained the things that I should have researched way back, right? But we were there, and he told me about what's coming, what are my options. One option was to go into the military, the Navy, and I wasn't up for that. So so then the point is that that conversation with this person triggered what now is a technology career for me, right? So you know, you know, I had to rethink what I was going to do, and that's when I decided to look for something related to what I liked. And it worked out very well, because when I think back of what I did when I was growing up and what I liked, you know, I played a lot of video games. Like I saw a lot of you guys are into video games. I like to tear things apart and put it back together, you know, reverse engineer things. And so at one point in my teenage years, I taught myself about coding in this, you guys won't know about, in DOS, the DOS operating system. That was years ago. So I read a book, I taught myself that. Later, I bought pieces of a computer. I bought the motherboard. I built a computer on my own. Things like that. I enjoyed a lot of those things. So going into technology was kind of a natural thing to do, and it worked out. So I know I'm revealing my age by talking about some of these old technologies. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know how that triggered for me to go into technology, right? So, and I know some of you are undecided, which is perfectly fine, right, at your age. But you're doing the right thing, being here. And like Rama said, talking to people, doing the research, finding out about what it entails to work in a job like this is what you should be doing. So that there's also mentorship that is very good that I would highly recommend. So just if we go back to the college, about deciding to go into college after not deciding to be a pilot, right? I went into Florida International University. So I picked the College of Engineering, Computer Engineering. It was a new program at the time, which had half of it was computer science and half of it was electrical engineering. So it turned out I enjoyed a lot more the computer science part of it, right? I kind of struggled through the electrical engineering part, but you become good at what you like is the point there. So so I did good in computer science there. Now, in my situation was that I had to work while I was in college. My parents lived in Ecuador. I was by myself in Miami, so I had to work. So that was my own personal situation. Working through college. So on the positive side, it prepared me because I was lucky enough to already have a job once I graduated, right? So midway through college, I landed on a part-time job. I had many other jobs not related to my career, but I got this one job where I was able to help code applications, use Visual Basic at the time, then later VB.NET, work on SQL databases. I helped them migrate from a Microsoft Access to a SQL Server database. And that's when my career in technology started. Okay. So when I graduated, I was already working. I never went through an internship program or anything like that, right? So, but of course, it's highly recommended. And I've seen the internet internship programs that we have here at UPS. And people do really well, right? Sometimes you get a permanent job off of that, so it's very helpful. So, I mean, looking back, if I were to do it all again, I would prefer not to be working while I'm in college. I would prefer to focus on college 100%, and and then once I'm done with college, get a job later, right? So that would be my preference and my advice, I guess, to you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you very much.
Yep,
so
the tips I can give.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing your experience. So we'll come back to you once the other two panelists finish sharing their experience.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, our next panelist is Raja Sachithanantham. So he loves consulting work, and his passion is to go to client sites and then design software solution based on the business problems. And that has its own challenges because with every client, the industry changes and the solution changes. So that is his passion. And when he's not working on software solutions, he wants to play with stock market and also drive down to Niagara Falls on
when it's frozen.
Canadian Canadian side and relax watching the Niagara Falls. So from Burlington, Canada, we have Raja Sachithanantham.
Yes, thanks, Rama, for the quick introduction. Hey everyone, it's nice to see you all. You students have a lot of energy. It was so happy to see you all today. And thanks Irene and student leadership team to setting up this opportunity and giving us to give us the opportunity here to contribute. I briefly take a moment to thank my family and friends who always been be supportive. So as Rama introduced me, I'm technology architect in Cognizant. So my main role is to provide integration solutions for the North America clients. So as Rama rightly pointed out, there'll be business problems that will be put in front of me. Sometimes I'll have to work on new proposals, that is starting a new client for my company, or an existing client of my company. I have to design a brand new solution for them. It could be both ways, and I'm specialized in providing integration solution in IBM technologies. So that's my expertise. And last 4 to 5 years, I'm really excited in working, providing solutions for healthcare and supply chain industry clients. So that's a quick introduction on my current role. Going back to my schooling and college, so I studied in St. Joseph's Higher Secondary School in India. So my school and college was all in India. And during my school days, I always wanted to become a doctor, especially a pediatrician. And I was working towards that. But after my 12th grade results came out in 2003, I did not get enough points to, score a scholarship to enter the medicine field. So there was a choice there, whether I could, wait a year to retake my test and get the scholarship now, or look into some other field. So my dad advised, okay, you keep moving, just don't maybe wait another year, keep moving. And what I did is I turned my focus towards engineering next. Again, there I had options to choose from, different colleges. So I had an option to choose from the topmost college. If I choose from the topmost college, I will have limited discipline. But if I choose from other college, I had I had options to choose any discipline. But Ram, I have 3 slides. Can I go ahead and share that? Ram, I think you're on mute.
I have stopped sharing. You can take it.
Okay, thanks, Ram. Okay, so when selecting my college, these are the 3 main factors I considered. First one was the reputation. So the college I selected was, I think it's the 7th oldest in the world. They have been they were for 225 years, and they were having very big infrastructure. So I was thinking about the the labs and the facilities they have, and opportunity to work with doctors, scientists, and head of departments. And the second point I considered was the I did not want to do engineering, which is like which is quite common. So I chose a career in printing technology. So that's how I started with, because there were only 7 colleges in India which had engineering in printing technology, and I'm sure I mean, put together the number of printing engineers that come out every year will be definitely, the count will be less. And I thought I'll not be following the herd. And the third thing I considered was the placement. So in the printing department, the ratio of entrepreneurs to the employed in corporates was high, and the placement rate was always 100%. They had a very good track record. So these are the 3 things I considered when choosing my college. I did not went with any other college which I had more options. So that was my choice there. And in 2003, I started my engineering in the Ginty College of Engineering, and it was going well. And suddenly, in the 3rd year, there was a twist. My dad, he got me a computer, to learn things related to my field, printing technology. So I had few courses in desktop publishing, which will involve softwares like Adobe Photoshop, which everyone would have known about it, and other Adobe Suite. I had to, I had labs and things related to that. So when but working with computers was not new. I had exposure working with computer from the 6th grade because of the school program. I had some exposure to some of the basic programming languages at that time. But getting my own PC and playing with it was a different thing, right? So one fine day, my computer was infected with a computer virus. So, and it was giving me a lot of trouble. It was trying to delete my photos and my documents and things like that. So I took that as a challenge, and tried to apply some sort of preventive measure to stop the spread. And later there was a patch that was available, and I kind of fixed it. And as at that time the technology was growing, and the other side, the malware were also growing. So soon I was good in solving the issues, not only in my computer, but I was helping my hostel mates. And soon I was helping my professors and other person in my department. I was suddenly gaining popularity in that area of providing security solutions. So this actually, kind of revealed my passion towards technology, which I thought, like, everyone, even in the college, they used adjective and called me antivirus Raja. So that was something I I thought, okay, there is something I can do in the technology area. And I switched gears and worked towards preparing myself to get placed in the technology related field, because some of the virus I dealt, I mean, I don't need to tell about virus in the pandemic. So the computer virus can be equally dangerous, right? It spreads through your network, and it takes out all the systems in the network. And at that time when I was in college, so I was kind of the AT&T cable guy you would have seen. So I run cables, like 2 or 3 stories in my hostel building. I connect several computers to through intranet, and So there was always challenges that the malware programs always try to spread quickly, and it takes copy of itself and deletes your stuff, ask for ransom sometimes, so things like that. So I was always top of always on top of identifying what type of virus it was, and what type of immediate solution I can I can do to stop the spread, because at that time the patches were not immediate and antivirus solutions were not effective. So the patches might be released even after several months. So it takes the industry leaders to provide to analyze and give the patches. So I was able to hold the systems until that period, say over a month or two, and I know I put some temporary fix and quarantine things, and until the permanent fix was ready. So that led to me, as I said, switch things from printing technology to information technology. So I in 2006, Cognizant came for a campus interview. So that was my first interview ever, and I got selected in that. So I joined as a programmer analyst trainee, and I have now raised until the level of technology architect. So brief lines about Cognizant. Cognizant is a Fortune 500 company offering IT services and IT consulting. We have close to 300K employees, and Cognizant recruits young talent graduating from STEM background. And in the future, if you're all interested, if you're finding a career in Cognizant, I can really help out. And with that being said, let me have some uh, thoughts here. So for you, so first point I have is find your passion. What is your strength, and build on top of it. Okay, so even in technology, I would say select a field of your interest. Say, most of you said about artificial intelligence and machine learning, things like that, right? So choose one of that and try to specialize in that, I would say. Second thing, Google more and find things quickly. So most of the time, once you come in the technology field, Google will be your go-to place for anything, but you have to find how the right question to ask to Google to get the answer. So that is the foremost thing. So develop that skill. And the third thing I have here is create VM sandboxes and play with it. This is my favorite thing. So in your PC, you don't need to directly play with it. You can actually there is a software like Oracle VM where you can install. You can spawn virtual machines instantly. You can spawn a Linux machine, a server, or a Windows machine, or whatever OS and hardware configuration you like, and play inside that. So something happens with it, something goes wrong, immediately you can destroy and start from the beginning, right? So that will make you explore more things on your own. So that's how I learned a lot of things, progressing in my career. And the fourth thing, yeah, technology is evolving constantly, so you have to try to quickly adapt. Um, so good thing is, in the pandemic, most of the trainings, webinar, and conferences are free and virtual now, so you can attend from your home, from your mobile, or any device that you have. So keep yourself updated. And the last point I have, make yourself strong in basics like C, data structures, groups, database. They are all important, but as again I said, acquire some skill in niche technologies, because as Rama said, I have teams in India, right? So I see the people who are newly joining, they all have, most of them have very common yeah, like a experience in coding, like when the languages they have a skill set is always more like Java and C Sharp, .NET, things like that. So just try to go one step on top of that. Try something like JavaScript and other languages which are currently in the market. So let me move on to the next slide where I have put together some good paying IT jobs. So if you look at it, I have 10 jobs listed. I mean, 10 job roles I have listed here. So you can, choose one of these and work towards your goal. And as I mentioned here, the artificial intelligence and machine learning engineer is the highly paid right now, and followed by cloud architect. So you could have, I mean, in the Zoom meetings, they are happening in cloud, right? So anything you have in Google Gmail, Google Docs, everything works based on cloud. So just, get familiar with cloud. So definitely that is going to help. The third I have is data engineer. Fourth one is network security engineer. Fifth one, software architect. And sixth one is IT project or program manager, followed by business intelligence. And that is followed by data scientist, DevOps engineer, and full stack developer. So if you have any specific questions, I can take at the end. On a final note, I would say technology is part of anything we do these days. If you order food or you get to places using GPS, or you video call people, you WhatsApp. So, and it is going to grow more, and it is going to, always going to increase. The digital space is growing drastically. So, like we were not using Zoom a couple of years ago, and now we are using it every day, every hour, right? So I would say, you'll be really, feeling good when you choose. I mean, you choosing the career in technology, and who knows, one of you might develop the next Zoom. And yeah, I wish you good luck, and I can take the questions and then. So that's it from my side.
Hey, Raja, thank you very much. I didn't know you were called antivirus, Raja. So that is something new I learned today.
Yeah, that's my technical college. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your journey. And Raja, thanks. So our next panelist is Lucas Correa. So Lucas loves architecting software solutions, and always from morning and even sometimes midnight, he'll be working, fixing something wrong with the servers or database. Or so when you come online at work, he's always there. So that is Lucas. And he is not solving software problems. I think this is my guess. He's planning his new dream trip on his Back to the Future car, DeLorean.
Oh, that's true.
Right? Time machine. So that's Lucas.
Yeah.
Take it from here, Lucas.
Thanks, Rama. And yeah, in fact, I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. So, all right, guys. So, talking about myself. So, I share the same responsibilities in Ivan. In UPS, I'm also an application manager, and I work basically managing the development and envisioning software solutions, and also managing vendors, as Ivan mentioned. So, talking about myself, when everything started to me was, in fact, on November the 4th, 1994. Yes, I still have this, date in my mind when my father bought a brand new computer on that moment, and the amazing capacity of 300 megabytes. right? So it was on that time, very beginning. I mean, the technology was starting, and we didn't have internet and all this stuff. So I was 12 years old, and I got very excited about technology. And a couple of weeks ago, later, I, put a virus in my computer, and it was kind of frustrating in starting, right? My progress on computing, but anyway. And what happened? I got so fascinated. I mean, a passion for computers that I guess most of you share now. So when during the high school, I'm from Brazil, so there you can, when you are doing your high school, you can do a kind of a technical or a supplementary training, and I did a programming training while I was still in high school. So after that training, I was able to apply for the internship. And I was so excited to start the development things because I just learned C and VB on that time, and I was so excited. And then I really struggled to find an internship there. And well, after like a month looking for internship, I got one in a department in Brazilian government that is pretty much similar to IRS here in US. So the thing is, I was so excited to build a lot of cool things, and in the end, I was playing with numbers, with things that wouldn't be that cool, for a beginner, for a young guy that was wanting to change the world by coding. So that was my first, shocking experience with the technology, because at some point I was, I imagined that I would be handling with, so cool things, and I was playing with numbers, coding, like forms that would replace paper forms, so yeah, it was not the best experience that I had, but I told myself, I love technology, and this is just a moment. Maybe I can look for something better, right? So, and then I finished my my high school and started in the college, and then I was looking for a job now, not internship anymore. So I spent a lot of time, and finally I got the best option for me on that moment, because I realized I'm in the boringest place ever, right? IRS. I wanted to find another place that is a cool place, and I got an opportunity at Microsoft. And believe, I was in Microsoft. On that time, Microsoft was the best company in the world. So I was so excited to work on that. And then I was working as a QA and doing some support for the implementation of Windows XP. And that was, I mean, I was so excited to be there. It started working happy and learning things, and trying to understand what is the corporate environment that was new for me. And then at some, after 1 year, I just realized that I didn't have opportunity to grow on that company, because all the development happens in US or in other countries, and my work there was just to support the business in Brazil, and the localization for Portuguese, that is the Brazilian the language in the country, and that's it. I wanted to code and to build things, right? So I had to take a very tough decision in my career. I had to look for another job, maybe in a not so cool company, right? And meanwhile, I was in the college. So at this point, I was working and studying at night. And I can tell you guys, this is tough, especially because if you are in a job you love, and you need to keep learning things at night. So it's not an easy thing. And as Ivan said, and I would do the same thing. I would just more focus on studying and a second moment, if it's possible, right, to work. But anyway, after that, I got graduated. I found a job in a company called Unisys, and then I started building things, coding there. But I used that like an opportunity to learn, because something that is very interesting is that during the university, or I mean the college, you are gonna learn the fundamentals, the structure. The main idea is to structure and to give basis of what you're gonna do or work. I mean, you're gonna learn some concepts that can be managed across multiple languages. You're gonna learn the basis of your knowledge, and then you develop this using maybe a different specific language. You can think about working on database. It's going to give you all the flavors, and having this having those options, you can understand and realize what you like the most. Okay, so and that was very important to me, because I had some background of programming, and then on the college I could absorb more concepts of each area. And I was also working on development, so it was very important to me to apply those concepts when I was working. And I think that the best approach would be doing this by applying on the internship, and not as I did my career, I mean working, because most of the things, some concepts that I had to use professionally, I was still learning. So that was one gap that I had in my career. So with that being said, after that I started working for UPS, and now I'm here for about 17 years. And something that I learned as well during my career is that as the technology, I mean the college gives you the structure, the basis for your knowledge, you will need to learn by yourself other technologies, like languages, new database structures. And why it happens? Because the technology is always changing, right? And sometimes it's interesting, because if you wanted to have a fully understanding of a technology, my suggestion is for you to start thinking about a certification, right? Those certificates, those technology certifications, you can take at any moment of your career, and you can do it by your own. So you decide to do that. It will not. It's a very nice tool to learn and to professionally have background to apply solutions, but it's not a requirement. It's a very nice to have, and give you much more. I think it makes more better to you and to your knowledge than to your career. They are very interesting and attractive. Maybe if you are applying for a position, maybe they can select you because of those certifications. But I think that you should take this as an opportunity to tell yourself how how knowledgeable you are in a technology. Okay, so and during my career, especially after I started working on UPS, after I left the college, I started applying for those certifications. So I mainly focus on Microsoft certifications, because it's the technology that I was working on that moment. And it was very important. It helped me. It supported me when I was challenged to provide solutions. Okay, so well, and after some point, I realized that I had to do one step ahead, and then after 5 years, then that I completed my college, I thought about starting doing the MBA, right, the master. So I decided to do that because I think that I needed to do one step ahead on managing processes, because when you start working, you have the perspective of your daily activities, right? And then after some time that you understand how the environment works, you start understanding the team activities, right? And then you start also envisioning solutions, and also you learn how the context of your job, okay? And what I realized that the MBA helped me to go one step beyond that, to think not just of how things work on how I can contribute to my team, but I start thinking strategically how I could contribute for the whole company, not just for that piece of work that we were developing. So in Brazil, having a good a good education, you needed to pay, right? And that was something that I always had to measure, to put in consideration when I was doing my personal goals, my personal plans. And I had to sometimes open to leave some opportunities like trips, or having a better car, to invest in my career. And I think that mainly it happens also in US. And if it were, I would say yes, because something that is important is the knowledge is power, belief. And it's not just about the technology perspective, okay? But I think that you should also invest on soft skills, because my understanding, technology is just a tool, okay? And it's not the final purpose. For example, in UPS, we are not, we have software development, but in the end, we ship products. We have areas like healthcare that the main, if you go to that area, you're going to see the logo. It's going to be, we're not delivering packages, right? We can be delivering lives, So you need to always focus that technology is a tool. And that's also actually one reason why it keeps changing, because this is not the main purpose. And the focus of technology is to streamline, to make things faster, right? So, and even the technology is applied on technology. So people always try to find a better way, an easier way, a faster and cheaper way to do things. So we need to always keep that in mind. When we thinking about technology is a tool, right? You use the technology to solve a problem. So the good point is always focus on pain. What we are trying to accomplish with this technology, right? What are the answers that you are trying to bring with this new AI and cool technology, right? So because now we are able to collect a lot of data, and what we are doing with this data, what problems we are trying to solve of that. COVID's been a very interesting scenario where people, the companies and the governments are trying to apply this massive data, to come up with solutions. And for example, if you got COVID, CDC is going to call you, and they're going to, ask you 30 minutes about all the details of your symptoms and everything that happened, because they want data to solve problems. Again, what is the final, what is the pain, what we are trying to solve with technology. So this is, I think, it's, in fact, my recommendation to any professional, okay, to thinking about that. And okay, so sometimes you have a problem, and in fact, you realize that you don't need the technology to solve that problem. Okay, so and this is a perspective. So that's the reason why we needed to focus on all the technical side, the technical perspective, right? Because you needed to have tools to automate, to build, to create, but also think about the other side. Okay, and obviously, when we're talking about soft skills that we need always to keep in mind that we need to develop, we need to talk about communication skills, to be very clear and fair to anyone that we talk. And so independently of the career, not just talking about technology, thinking about the soft skills that's going to be great, and you are going to make you a great professional independently of the area that you are. Okay. Well.
Hey, Lucas. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. I remember we had talked about that top of the line PC with 300 MB storage. And another thing I noticed is I thought nota fiscal was your passion, but it looks like you started in high school working with the government.
Yeah, this in fact is my curse, because I started in the beginning, and then when I started working for UPS, I just realized that I was in the same environment. So in fact, what I learned in my internship helped me to get the position in UPS.
Okay, great. And also thanks for sharing how you switch from QA role to programming role and the importance of soft skills and technical skills. Thank you very much on that. So all three of you, I really appreciate the time you took to share your experiences. So now, Irene, I think we can go to Q&A session. So I see that there is one question from Aditi. Aditi, you are asking some tips on how to balance internships and also schoolwork. First, I'll give a chance to Ivan because I'm sure he has some thoughts about it.
Yeah, actually, and I responded to her. I just sent a response directly to her.
Okay.
But that's fine. Let me explain what I said. Is basically that it is challenging, right? You when you have to balance the schoolwork and the work, to actually earn money. It is challenging, and what I was telling Aditi is that it requires discipline. You need to be disciplined, and you need to focus on what are your priorities, right? Because if you are clear that your priority is to get your bachelor degree, right? That should be it. You can have a second priority. That's fine. If you need to work, you need to get money. That would be your second priority. But it's all about choices, right? You have so many choices on what to spend your time in, right? If you focus priorities and you spend your time on those two things, then you can make it, right? For sure, you can be able to balance it out and be able to do that school and work.
Okay, thanks, Simon. And I think Lucas, you also had some experience with that.
Yeah, so something Ivan said, I completely agree, is about time, because time is the most precious, resource that we have, and we need to be really focused and engaged to ourselves, because it's working and working and studying is very time consuming, and you need to be very organized with your time, right? You need to set a schedule and follow the schedule. And well, the more you can spend studying, the easier it's going to be, all the your life, and not just at this moment. I mean, getting your exams, but in the future, right? Because it's the time that you're doing now, it's an investment. Okay, always thinking that this is an investment.
Okay, great, Lucas, thank you, and Ivan, thank you. And Raja,
Yeah,
did you have a comment on that?
Yeah, sure, Rama. So during my college days, I also did some side gigs, not like an internship, but I did some side gigs like a traffic survey. So one of the goal was to, go and stand near the highway and just observe how many cars and how many bikes are passing by, and I have to take a survey and give it to, a college who will, give me some scholarship or other things. And I was also doing some sort of surveys over the weekends, where I have to go to people's house and understand which mode of transport they like, and why they prefer that, what changes they will want to see from the government, things like that. I was doing all sort of things. So how I managed my study and these type of side gig is that so I will be very clear that I take those side hustles only in the evenings after all the lectures are over, say like 6 p.m. and I have a set time, say 6 to 8 p.m. only to take something in that time, and rest everything I take over the weekends and spread it across. And I come back to my hostel, my room, and start studying. Maybe 10 or sometimes 9:30, and then have 1 hour of dedication, 1 or 2 hours of dedication towards my study. So it is definitely challenging, but I was able to do by just focusing on specifically on the splitting the time for the lectures and side hustle. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Raja. Thank you for sharing. Thanks everyone for sharing about that. And Irene, like you mentioned in the beginning, I'll give an opportunity to Pavan. Pavan Bharadwaj, he is a graduate from Northview High School. Right now, he's a junior at Georgia Tech, and he's doing internship. I thought this would be an appropriate question for him. So Pavan, go ahead and share your experience about internship and studying at Georgia Tech.
Hey guys, I graduated from Northview in 2017. I was in marching band. I was in student government. I had a lot of fun. But so the way you could approach this is a lot of you guys, if you have to work in college as in part-time, you have to make sure that you have your calendar ready for the week and for the month. But I don't know how to approach it like that. I didn't work part-time jobs throughout college. But for the internship wise, it'll be like a whole semester thing where you're taking off of school. Right now I'm in Vicksburg, Mississippi, working at a paper mill. I was influenced by my dad a lot. As Lucas said, what they do isn't necessarily the UPS is made for moving boxes, and I saw what he was doing and I couldn't see how they were moving boxes. So I wanted to get into the jobs where my electrical engineering experience would be kind of literally moving the boxes. So now I'm making the paper to move to make those boxes. I wanted to see that my work directly make a product or make a service rather than it being 3, 4, 5 parts down the line. All those are very important, but that's where I wanted to be. So what I did for the internship was I've worked 4 semesters out of my whole college career, so I'm going to take 5 years to graduate. But I sat down and made a plan for a semesterly schedule for what classes I'll be taking every semester. And I built in my internship schedule into that whole college schedule so that the previous semesters I would be looking for jobs, and thankfully I go to Georgia Tech, so it isn't too hard to get one. And I stick to that schedule. And of course, there will be some changes in it, but if you stick to that, then the recruiting schedule won't be too much stress, and there won't be too many surprises, because at least with Georgia Tech, you'll always have plenty of surprises that you don't want to have.
Okay, thank you, Pawan. And Aditi, I hope that answered some of your question. And also, if you have further follow-up question, please send me an email and I'll forward it to Pawan so that you can get more clarification. So the next question I see is from Akila. What are some key skills recruiters typically look for in applicants for a computer science career? So I'll first give this to Lucas. Lucas, you have worked with Microsoft and also you have worked in Brazil and now you're working in US. So see what your experience is based, what skills does the recruiters typically look?
Yeah, so especially for your internship, for the interviews, obviously, I think that the recruiters will not be looking for all technologies if you are having 1,000 years of experience, and I think that they will try to understand your will. Of how you want to work on the company. Something that they would also look for is if you know something about the company, right? If you're interested on the company, and if you at least understand a little bit what is the business that is involved, okay? And also. And this is something very tricky that I remember from the time I was applying for those internships. The way you think, it's important. Okay, they're trying to understand if you have some line of thoughts when you build or when you give an answer. I can remember that I was in one of those interviews, and a lady just made a completely nonsense question to me. She stopped the conversation and just asked me, "Hey, do you know how many McDonald's we have in São Paulo?" Which is, hey, this is a tricky one. So she started doing this question, and I say, hey, I think that she wants to understand my line of thought, or my so I just started telling her, so hey, let's suppose that we have 100 malls here, okay? So we're going to have one mall, one McDonald's per mall, and we have maybe another 100 highways, so 200, and then I started building a kind of logic to tell them how I would get that detail. That number, my answer. So sometimes, based on my experience, obviously, I could learn that they try to look for how you think, how it's we come up with answers, problems, solutions. So this is part of solving problem skills that I guess, especially for internship, they would look for. And obviously, at some point, you needed to be at least on basics and on some of the technologies, right? Knowing, for example, if you would like to go to the like a UI, UX, or database, or where you wanted to go, it's very important to show that you at least you are going towards one direction that may match with the position that they are offering.
Okay, thank you, Lucas. And Ivan, you have any comments on that? Like, what are the key skills a recruiter, or if you are hiring somebody, what is it that you look for?
Yeah, so yeah, I can tell you from the perspective of being a manager and hiring people and looking through resumes, right? Um, so soft skills is important, right? If I'm looking for a .NET programmer, for example, right? I'll probably get 10 resumes. Um, all of the 10 are going to have .NET knowledge, right? But what's going to be different about the one I choose, right? So that's what you have to think is, what else can you provide? What else do you have? And that's where the soft skills comes into play. Look into leadership programs, student government was mentioned, community organizations, things like that do make a difference, because to me that shows initiative to work on things that are outside the box, something different. So
Okay,
that helps.
Thank you, Ivan. Raja, so when you are looking at resumes and trying to hire consultants, what would you look for?
Yes, sometimes I look for how confident they are, so as to rate themselves in a particular skill, and how confident they are, to handle a given project or a given role. So those are the first few things I look for. And also, like in general, the recruiters look for problem solving skills. So they might throw some simple puzzles to you and ask you to solve, and also ask you some questions like handling difficult situation in a project. So something like, you have, there could not be an answer. Say you have a appointment at a given time slot, and but a project work comes at that time. What will you do? So they just test how you react to that question, basically. Well, and of course, they will. I will see why they are interested in a particular position that we have listed, and why they are interested in the company, and what made them to choose this. And finally, I look for the flexibility, in case if they are, selected, will if the project needs, different work hours, slightly different work hours than usual, and also a location, relocation, things like that. If they are okay, in case, in future things might change. Say if I recruit them for a particular client, and that proposal did not come, and I have to move them into a different area, different client, and different location altogether in the states, right? So are they willing to, take something like that? So I get all that recorded as part of entry feedback and pass it to HR.
Okay. Thank you, Raja. Okay, I see next one from Ashu. What is one thing about the technology field that you wish you had known when starting out? Wow, that's a really nice question. First I'll answer it, and then I'll let the panelists take this question. So Ashu, what one thing I would have known is how can I really be competitive in an area and then go behind my passion? So if I knew how to do that, I think it would have been really good, because there were many inventions or advancements in technology that were done in the last 2 decades. And if I had made certain decisions, my career would have been in a different path. So taking the right decision depending on what technology is currently hot, I think that really would have changed my career trajectory. So that unique idea, unique skill of identifying how do I adapt quickly would be one thing that I would have wish I knew how to do it. So I'll give next to Ivan if you want to take that question.
Yeah, and I agree. I was thinking along the same lines that if I would have known what is going to be a good technology down the road, you know, I would have made certain decisions as far as classes to take, right? Specifically, I remember taking classes for certain languages that really don't exist today, and others are keep going. Others are, you know, are still in there. So knowing that, it would have helped. And now with internet and with, you know, you have ways to find that out, and so there's ways to know that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ivan. Lucas?
Yeah, I cannot agree the more we've got you guys, because I got classes of a COBOL, you know, and because yeah, at some point in Brazilian market, COBOL was used by banks, by, you know, financial institutes, by financial companies. So at some point, it was strategic on that time. I mean, to find a job 10 years ago. I mean, 20 years ago, but not today. So yeah, it's really difficult to identify what is going to be the trend in, you know, like 10 years. But yeah, if we could try to get this understanding before, you know, before, and in fact this is very interesting, because if you think about the area that you want to work, like a database, you know, the knowledge you will not lose, right? But the technology will not be applied anymore. But depending on the area that you decide to work, maybe you learn something, but it's still always a challenge to decide what.
Okay, thank you.
Language.
Thank you, Lucas. And Raja?
Yeah, Rama, I think you guys covered, but to add to that, what I would say is, before starting a career in technology, I did not know that. I mean, I was thinking a career in technology is all about coding and programming languages, but within technology, we have certain roles and jobs where it just requires some sort of, you know, like configuration or just an administration, and you know, like not fully into coding. You have other roles and responsibilities where you can choose other than coding too. So that I was not aware before.
Okay, great, Raja. Thanks for sharing. Ashu, I hope that explains some of your question. And
yeah,
then I see next one, Sid. With COVID going on, what would be the best way to gain exposure to a desired field during this upcoming summer break? I think, Lucas, you touched on this a little bit. How do you gain additional knowledge? So can you expand a little bit on what Sid can do to get some advanced training?
So it's interesting because there are trainings online that are very interesting, and it gives you actually the ability to apply for a certification. Right? For example, on Microsoft website, you find a lot of content, and very good content. I was able to just following Microsoft's website, I was able to get Microsoft certifications. I mean, you needed to study, but in the end, they provide even labs, sandbox that you can work, and So my first recommendation is look for understand what is your goal. okay, what technology you are looking for. After that, my recommendation is to focus in a certification, because it gives you like you know, not just the visibility and the external visibility, right? Because it shows to everybody that, hey, you are qualified, really qualified. But in order to get those certificates, you need to study, you know, all the items, all the topics regarding that main subject. And this is very interesting because you have a complete view of the technology.
Okay.
So yeah. So my first suggestion would be focusing on those certifications and looking for the free content that the sponsors provide you.
Okay, thanks, Lucas. And I'm checking the time. We have about 3 minutes left. So I'll move to the last question. Before that, Aditi, you are saying that answers helped you, that we are glad we were able to clarify a few things. And then last question I have is, Sam, how important is prior experience when going into college seeking a STEM degree? So first I'll give a chance to Ivan to talk about his experience and also getting a STEM degree.
Yeah, so yes, I mean, experience is it's always important. Now, of course, it's understood that if you're just coming out of college, that you may not have that much experience, right? So that's why it's important to focus on the programs that you have at the university. I think the internship option that many of us spoke about is a great option, right? That gives you some of that exposure, right? So I would say to not not focus on getting your studies completed, because a bachelor degree is more heavier than than a few jobs that you got here and there, right? So that's what I would recommend.
Okay, so thank you. And Raja, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I just agree completely with Ivan, and yeah, I think Ivan covered everything I wanted to say.
Okay, great. And Sam, Irene is saying that you are heading to Georgia Tech in the fall. So Pavan, do you want to take a quick shot at how important it is prior experience when going into college seeking a STEM degree?
From my experience, you don't need any at all. I came into Georgia Tech as an econ major. I didn't think I was gonna go into engineering at all, and then Northview put me in a great STEM position that I had a lot of good knowledge in just knowing how to study math and science. So you really don't need much at all. As long as you're ready to work and ready to study, and you have a good work ethic. The degree itself, it won't be easy, but you can do it.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. Irene, back
well, I
to
wanted
you.
to thank everyone for coming to this. This was the first time we've ever done a virtual shadowing opportunity for the kids, and hopefully they all learned something. I'm going to be sending out the slides that you guys use so that the kids can reach out and contact you if they have questions that they were either unable to ask or too shy to ask. I will send that to them as soon as this is over, and I'll be posting this video on YouTube so they can rewatch it if they'd like to. And thank you so much for sharing your expertise with all of our students. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, Irene. It was definitely a very good opportunity for us to take a break from our regular work.
Yeah.
And also because one of the things when I approached the panel was they were excited. I mean, I didn't have to ask them second time. As soon as I said, hey, will you be interested in doing this? They're like, yep, tell me when you want me to do this. So I'm really
I do appreciate that. sharing your expertise is important, and I deal with these teenagers every day, and it's just so cool. It keeps me young. So I'm glad that you were able to see a little bit of how smart some of these kids are. And Pavan, my son, went to Northview as well, but he graduated before you. He went to Northview and he graduated in 2009. Then he graduated from Tulane University in 2013. So he's currently getting his MBA. And getting ready to have a baby.
Yeah, thank you, Irene. And first, I would like to thank Ivan for encouraging, and actually, Ivan's quick responses to email really made me make up my mind and start focusing on how to go about this webinar, because this is my first time doing it. And
you
Lucas,
did a great job.
Thank you.
This could be.
Lucas, thank you for your encouragement and also sharing your thoughts. Thanks, Raja. And I always like working with these guys. I have been working with them for last 10 years. So, and thanks, Pavan, for last minute joining the webinar. And also, I threw up this challenge about answering questions, and he just stepped in and he started doing it. So thank you for doing that, Pavan.
Of course he did.
Back to
well, enjoy your time in Mississippi, man.
Yeah, I'll try.
I've been there. Anyway, okay, well, you guys, thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Stay warm. It's freezing here. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Go back to school. Bye.